Today I want to talk about something I don't see a lot of creators talk about, especially in like the spiritual realm or anyone who's done a lot of inner work or a lot of healing, and that is your relationship to partying or your relationship to going out pre-healing versus post-healing. I do want to say a disclaimer: if you ever are going through something and it's something more severe or that you feel you have to stop completely, I completely support that. This is not what this video is about. It's the relationship to partying, the relationship to drinking, the relationship to going out when you're pre-healing, before doing inner work, before going down that kind of route, a spiritual route, whatever you need to do, versus post, and then the relationship you have after that. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I kind of lived a lot of that, and I think pre-healing, I was a girl working a 9 to 5 in New York City, going out all the time, going to these happy hours, but a lot of what I was doing felt like escapism. Like I just needed to party. I needed to go out to just like not deal with all of like the pain I was feeling. And it's so crazy when I like talk to my friends or my friends that have known me for like middle school, high school, elementary even, right? And they'll be like, oh yeah, you like remind me of this person or something. And I'm just like, do I? But the relationship I had was like, I couldn't even be home for 5 minutes. Like being home for 5 minutes was actually insane to me because I needed to be out. Because if I was home, I'd have to think. And if I had to think, I would go nuts. Or if I had to think about my thoughts or think about what I was feeling, I would like lose my mind. So I felt like I was constantly out on the go, doing whatever. Literally, I think partying was part of it, but it was just anything to keep my brain busy, so I wasn't thinking about how I needed to, heal, how I needed to do the inner work. And it's such a difference now that I've done so much healing. I've gone to so much therapy. I became such a spiritual person, but I'm still me. And the way my relationship to going out or to alcohol is so different. And it was like when you're trying to escape anything, it's like you just want to go, keep going more and more. It's like the same thing with, I think, shopping, right? It's like I guess is essentially like an addiction. But now I don't feel that way. Like now it's like I'll have a glass of wine. I'm like, whatever. And I still go out and I still, go out with my friends, but it just feels so different now. Like it doesn't feel like I'm needing to go out. I don't need that desire. And now I feel I've changed so much that like I love staying. Nothing makes me happier than staying in and just have a glass of wine and stay in. Like that's a perfect Friday night for me, or just have a drink with your friends. And it could feel so painful. And I think when you're going through a lot, people could look at you on the outside like, why is she acting like this? She's out of, or she, whoever you are, is like out of control. But I don't think that's what's going on. I think sometimes your feelings are so painful that the thought of just doing anything to get out of your head is so much easier than like actually sitting with it. And it took me so long to do that. And I really think I would have, I never went down a really dark path like, other people. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for that. But, I definitely was trying to escape. Like if you're trying to escape anything, that's kind of how it works, right? So I don't know. I think now it's when you learn coping mechanisms, or when you learn, I kind of also want to be an example because I did party hard. I was kind of acting like that. And I kind of want to say like, you can get on the other side, right? Like I don't feel that I have to keep going. And I feel like it's like, oh, you could just go out for a little and come home and relax. And I think that that's something I never really felt in the past because I was in so much pain. And it's really hard to even say that out loud. I feel like right now, and I want to like cry, it's like the first time admitting that to myself of like, it was like so hard to like just even be me or just even like sit with my thoughts, that it was easier to just keep going and kind of, be a hamster on a wheel. And a lot of it too, I think, is like when I was younger, I picked a certain career, I had a certain group of friends, and everything in my life looks completely different now. And you could really see like the dynamic in my life of like pre-healing versus post-healing. Like even the shows I'm interested in feel different. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, now, I think when I was going through a lot, it was like constantly true crime. Because I was like, just anything. I had like this fascination with like serial killers. I think that was like a phase, though. A lot of people had that, maybe. I don't know. And now I'm just like completely a Bravo girly pop, like just engulfed in the universe. Love Island right now, it's June, so it's Love Island season. And the interest you feel. So I think when you do that, talking even to myself, doing that inner work and the relationship you have towards everything will change. So I used to always think it's like you just needed some time. I just needed some time to really sit with myself. And when I actually had the time to process, when I actually was able to, I just feel so much better. And I think that it takes a long time to get over the hump. And that's what I had to do, kind of get over that pain and that hump. But it really is possible. And you don't have to escape to party. You can heal that wound. I don't say this as a doctor or anything like that, because that's not who I am. I'm just saying as someone who experienced it, someone who experienced a great deal of pain, someone who went through a lot and then used anything. I truly feel I was like just going out, just being, literally even at the mall was better than like just sitting at home thinking. And now I love being at home and relaxing it and being in my safe place. So another thing I would recommend is create a safe haven. And it's so hard when you're in a rough environment, whether you're in a rough relationship, whether you're in a rough family dynamic. And, I unfortunately can relate to some rough dynamics, but try to create a safe place within that. So what I did is, the way that I handled that is kind of looking in myself. Therapy is obviously a beautiful thing. I went to a lot of therapy, but you're not going to be in therapy every day. You're going to have to find that. And I think what I tried to do is just find like little ways to cope within myself, little ways to just find my safe haven. I found that a lot. What I started doing is walking. Like, I lived at the New York City at the time, and I was obsessed. I was in Astoria, so it was Astoria Park, and I would just stand there and like just look at it. And I felt like for the first time in my life, like, I'm safe, I'm good. And I would just stand there, and even if it was an hour, I was like, okay, I'm at peace. Things are good. I'm safe. I'm good. So trying to find that will make you want to escape less. And I think that like comes to, being in the present moment. And when you're going through pain, or when you've gone through some kind of pain, it's really hard to be present. And as I'm like sitting here, I'm like clenching my cute little crystals that I got at the shop not too long ago. But, it's tough topics. I haven't thought about my feelings towards that in a very long time. And I think it's because sometimes when you do the inner work and then you go over it, you forget how far you've come. And like, sometimes sitting here, it makes you feel grateful that I came out the other side. And just know, if you are struggling, you can get out the other side. I did. I am grateful every day that I did, and it's interesting when you do healing within yourself, because it trickles down to every relationship you have in your life. And, the relationship I have with partying and alcohol, the relationship I have with my friends, the relationship I have with my fiance, the relationship I have with my family, it all healed as I healed within myself, the pain that I was feeling, the trauma I endured, all of it. And you notice that it doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. That's fine. It's beautiful. It's life. But it happens in time, and it happens when it needs to. And you notice, okay, that relationship doesn't really affect me the way it used to, or that doesn't really is needed anymore. I don't need to put so much self-worth on my career. I don't need to escape my friends or family. I don't need to escape anything. I could just be here. And escapism can feel really hard, and I've done it so many times in my life. And I feel now it's just such a different feeling of worthiness, right? I think the I think whenever you think being present, it's just what present within yourself, so you don't need to go anywhere else. And I don't know, it's something that I didn't expect to be so teary-eyed talking about this or talking about my feelings towards this, but it is something a lot of people struggle with, and I wanted to kind of express it because I feel I've come out the other side, and it wasn't easy and it wasn't overnight. It was years, but I did it, so maybe this could help someone else too. Yeah.